To cut to the chase, I wasn't a big fan of the original Game Boy Advance because it didn't have a backlit screen, but the Game Boy Advance SP does. It was released in 2003 in March in the West, and the reason why I love the device is because it's basically it was like a handheld SNES back in the early 2000s when smartphones weren't as well advanced, because nowadays people emulate games on their smartphone or on other handhelds. Back then people used emulators on computers, so having a handheld SNES back in the early 2000s was a big deal. I love the design. It's clamshell design, the way it folds, and I also like how it's region free, because after it got released I spent time living in America, Thailand, Malaysia, and I bought my GBA in Australia. But no matter where I lived, I could buy games from any region. I also bought imported games from Japan, from Thai stores, and they worked on my GBA. So here's what it looks like when it's unfolded. It looks like it has 2 buttons, but it has another 2 shoulder buttons as well, so really 4 buttons. To the games, it has a lot of the great SNES games. Super Mario World needs no introduction. It's personally my favourite 2D platformer ever. As great as Super Mario Bros. 3 is, I personally prefer Super Mario World because it lets you revisit levels you've previously completed, and you can search for things you may have missed. And Super Mario World originally had a save feature where Super Mario Bros. 3 didn't, and Super Mario World has Yoshi, and the levels have many hidden exits, many secrets. You can search for all the different Yoshis. I like eating enemies of Yoshi and spitting them out as fireballs. And to me, Super Mario World is like comfort food. It's just so easy to pick up and play. I've beaten the game twice this year. Another game that needs no introduction is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. As great as Ocarina of Time is, many people say the game has aged, whereas A Link to the Past still holds up so well. Its art style, its gameplay, its world design, and its music, of course, its dungeons. The game is just so playable in a simplistic way. The way the forest looks. I just, instead of needing to use a lock-on feature, I like how the enemies, you can just hack and slash at the enemies, and you can deflect magical attacks with the Master Sword, and just the world feels so fun to explore. I like its overhead view. Island. I bought all my Game Boy Advance games in Australia at an electronics boutique, so they're not pirates. You can even see the price label. Yoshi's Island is remembered for its fun gameplay mechanics, being able to shoot eggs, its hovering, jumping mechanics, and its art style looks so beautiful and hand-drawn. For NES games, I arguably the best NES game and one of the best 2D platforms ever made, Super Mario Bros. 3, came to GBA. The GBA version was given a save feature, which is a big deal for me, so I can actually beat the game. Its art style and level designs make the game a masterpiece. The GBA wasn't just great for ports. A game which I think is a gem is Metroid Fusion. It's actually my favourite Metroid game because of its atmosphere. The alien worlds in Metroid Fusion look so hostile, and I like how they also have a bit of an organic feel, and the gameplay in Super Metroid gameplay in Metroid Fusion improves over Super Metroid. It has extra features, and some people say the game Metroid Fusion's a bit linear and short. Well, it's a handheld game, but its gameplay, as reviewers say, it's quality over quantity. Some of the segments in Metroid Fusion are very exciting and thrilling, such as when you're being chased by a Samus clone, and the game, it's just a blast, no pun intended, from start to finish. Just let you watch more gameplay for yourself. Pokemon Sapphire, which goes for a fortune on eBay. Even though Pokemon is more marketed towards children, Pokemon Sapphire's story has a bit of a more serious tone, such as Pokemon that can destroy the world by flooding the world, and you can actually capture that Pokemon that can make it flood. Some games that were exclusive to the GBA, there's also Sonic Advance, which was a fun 2D Sonic platformer, had the speed and the level designs. As you can see, colourful level designs, like Sonic games, and mixed tropical and futuristic, and forests, and the fast level designs. Going back to ports, we have Final Fantasy IV, which was my second favourite 16-bit era game after Super Mario World. The story was epic for its time and had great plot twists. Yes, I should get a plastic cover for its box. For ports, Donkey Kong Country. Yes, the GBA version has overly bright graphics, but better gameplay than the SNES version. Going back to exclusives for the GBA, there's Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku, and this game disappointed people when it was released. It's very short, and it plays more like a its combat is more like run and gun with RPG elements, but the towns and the buildings have a fair bit of detail. The building interiors have a fair bit of detail and some emotional moments in the story. I enjoyed it, but yeah, it was a bit expensive for what you got. Its sequel, Legacy of Goku 2, is much better. The combat is fast and there's a lot of melee combat. You can transform into a Super Saiyan mid-battle, and it can turn the tide of battle, and you can use multiple characters: Goku, Gohan, Trunks, and Piccolo. The game is also much longer and more intense. Last but not least is Golden Sun. It also goes for a fortune on eBay. It was made by the same developer staff that made Shining Force, one of my favourite JRPGs. on the Mega Drive. Anyways, when I lived in America, I had an American girlfriend, and she had a copy of Golden Sun, and I chose to play her copy, and I played through the game instead of buying my own copy, and I regret it, because back then I could have bought a copy of Golden Sun for fairly cheap, but it's very expensive on eBay. It's such a charming RPG. It's another game like Comfort Food. It's just one you can keep coming back to. It's just easy to get into. The story doesn't try too hard. It's just one that has old school JRPG charm. Story doesn't have to make you care. It doesn't have to make you care about it. The turn-based battles. I love handheld systems. It's a 3DS there. The Data Frog is a great handheld budget system. It's very cheap, and it can play SNES, Mega Drive, GBA, and perfect emulated versions of certain arcade games such as Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter Alpha games. And anyways, I also have a PlayStation Portable, but I left it in Australia. Here's my Nintendo Switch here. Enjoyed this video, and take care everyone.